Mist of Pandaria Classic will bring a lot of changes to PvP compared to how it were in Cataclysm Classic, and in my opinion, for the better. There's 2 new Battlegrounds, the first one here where you will need to carry these orbs. There's a total of 4 of these, and the closer you can bring these to the middle of the map, the more points you will also be gaining. But be aware, as you carry the orbs, you will also be taking more damage, but eventually also able to do a bit more damage. The second one being Silver Shard Mines. Here it will spawn 3 mine cards that you'll need to be in control of and get to a specific location. When this battle begins, but also when a new card spawns, it will remain neutral until someone enters the circle, and then you'll slowly start to be in control of the card. But if another faction enters the circle and they outnumber your faction, then they will slowly start to capture or will be in control of the card. Therefore, it's also important that at least one person always guard the card all the way to the final destination to make sure you get your points. Else, a stealthy class could simply just ninja cap it at the end and you will have wasted a lot of time. Ever since they introduced Eye of the Storm in the Burning Crusade, you have also been able to take a lot of fall damage if you don't jump the correct way. This is no longer the case, as all of these things has simply been shortened, so it's easier for you to begin. At the same time, it's also easier for you to kill people who AFK at the beginning. For those of you enjoying arenas, you can also look forward to this new arena map. Even though it might remind you a lot of the Nagrand arena, then it isn't exactly the same. Having 3 pillars instead of 4 is a huge difference, also because these pillars are bigger and formed as a square, so your kiting, line of sight, but also setting up a proper kill is going to be different. What I'm looking forward to the most is definitely the red glowing PvP enchants on your 1-hand, 2-hand weapon, and even on your ranged weapon as well. Yeah, hunters will actually be able to enchant the weapon and finally get an illusion. And with transmogs being in the game, then you can sometimes also find a weapon that has a huge glowing effect. In my opinion, looking pretty badass. Beside this, there will also be a new PvP specific meta gem that provides 2 important stats. For example, PvP resilience, you will now have 40% by default, and this will reduce your damage taken from players and minions and pets. You can reduce your damage taken even further simply by getting PvP enchants and items. Yet another stat is PvP power. This is where you increase the damage and healing you do in PvP situations, for example in arenas, battlegrounds, but also outdoor world PvP. It is easy to increase this stat. Just go for the weapons, off pieces, and of course the full PvP set, as this will increase your power and resilience. Another big change is your trinkets. Equipping 2 PvP trinkets will now also provide you with a 2-set bonus, increasing your resilience. In other words, it will no longer be as important to focus on raiding to get yourself some decent trinkets. Now it will also be important to do the open world raid boss every single week, for example Shire of Anger. You don't only have a chance of getting tier pieces from this and also from your bonus roll. No, you can in fact also get set pieces and offset pieces for PvP. Mist of Pandaria also brought some new Gladiator Mounts, the Cloud Serpents. Looking like this, but depending on the season it will also have another color. Beside these mounts you will also be able to purchase yourself a Cloak and Tabert, only available if you reach high rating and during that season. And of course also an elite armor set and weapons with a unique look, only available for that season. In Cataclysm you had to head to Stormwind City as an Alliance player and Orgrimmar as a Horde player to get your PvP items. This is no longer the case, instead you'll need to head to Pandaria. As an Alliance player your quartermaster will be located right here, and as a Horde player it will be at a different location. What you should also be aware of is that at each of these quartermasters there will also be a nearby flight master. In original Mist of Pandaria, some classes had an easier time getting to 1800 rating and above in arenas, for example the Priest, Death Knight, Druid and also Shaman, where the Monk were the least represented class above 1800 rating. I'm excited to see what will happen in Mist of Pandaria Classic, as monks are actually doing pretty damn good as Windwalker and Mistweaver in 2s and 3s. Alright, if you would like to see more Mist of Pandaria content, for example guides, leveling, tips and tricks, and also gold making, then make sure to check out my channel or subscribe to get notified the next time I post a useful video. As always, thank you so much for watching and have an amazing day. Peace.